What's going on, Football Nation? My name is Tori Peoples, and my segment's going to be Truth in Football. We're going to talk about the AP polls right now. You guys sitting on top, LSU, Bama, OU, Wisconsin, and then the notorious, overrated Boise State. And the only reason I'm making this blog is to talk about Boise State. You have, count them, 4 teams that are undefeated that are better than Boise State. You have Oklahoma State, Stanford, and Clemson. But if you want to look at that, if you don't want to look at just records and stuff like that, just quality of play, conferences in which they play in, the SEC versus Boise State's, we won't even talk about them. You have Oregon, who's a 3-1 team, but at the end of the day, is better than a Boise State. You have a 4-1 South Carolina team, better than Boise State. Auburn, another 1-loss team, better than Boise State. So truth in football, fans, is do you really want to be sitting watching Boise State get annihilated in January for the national title? Because technically, Boise State, their schedule, they're not going to play anybody the rest of the way. You can hope that Air Force can beat them, or maybe Fresno State. But truth in football is, football was made to be played on green grass, not blue Smurf turf. And if you look at it like this, why? Why are we trying to make this team out to be better than they are? We will make the exception and we will say, hey, you know what, SEC, Georgia did us wrong because Georgia lost to them at the beginning of the season. But Boise State does it every year. They play one team on their schedule, and then they get to go to a bowl game because they don't play anybody else the rest of the season. You give me an SEC team who's playing somebody every week, not so much. Pac-10, Big 12, whatever. Texas A&M. Texas A&M is better than Boise State. Nobody who really loves the game of football can look at that team and say, hey, you know what? Boise State is playing quality opponents every week. You come to any other conference, do like Texas A&M is doing. They're going to another conference because they want to prove themselves. Not that the conference that they were leaving was not a good conference, but they want to compete with the best, then you got to go play with the best. So for all you Boise State fans out there or whatever, doesn't matter one way or the other. If you play this mediocre schedule or whatever, if you play one of my SEC teams in a bowl game that means anything, you're going to get beat down. And the thing is, you'll get beat down in front of everybody because everybody's going to be eating their leftover Christmas food and all that good stuff, and we'll get to see it. So, ride the wave as long as it'll last, but hey, all good things must come to an end. And for the one voter who voted for Boise State to be #1, you should no longer be able to vote because obviously you do not love the game of football and you love a conference or you love your alma mater more than you love the game of football. Right now, Alabama, I would say, is the best team in football. Not because I'm from Alabama and not because I love the SEC, but because they're playing better football. You hold Florida to 15 yards rushing in the swamp, proof is in the pudding. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if we're #2, #3, or whatever. All that will work itself out and we'll be playing for the national title. But Boise State, I'll be here every week to bash you on Monday because I, like other real football fans, are tired of the hype. Football is not about hype, it's about X's and O's. So, roll Tide.